one I did not see coming. My name is Kevin Halden. This is Nerdly Presents Off the Reel. This is an Off the Reel review, and we're talking about the movie London Calling. Not the song by The Clash, which is an absolute banger. Remember back in 2018, a good couple of years ago now, we got this fan fiction. It was a short for Uncharted, you know, the PlayStation game. So the Uncharted fan film had Nathan Fillion in it. Now, if you know anything about the Uncharted games, Nathan Drake kind of looks like Nathan Fillion. Everybody has been campaigning for Nathan Fillion to play Nathan Drake in a movie. And of course, Nathan Fillion has been campaigning since like 2010 to play Nathan Drake in a movie. And then when they finally did make it, they cast Tom Holland. Miscast, if ever I heard one. And by the way, the movie that Tom Holland is in absolutely sucks. So the director of that movie, Allan, also made a movie with Josh Duhamel called Bandit, which also had Mel Gibson in it. And here he is back with Josh Duhamel again, and also a pretty cool roundabout cast that we're going to talk about for the movie London Calling. And what we're going to do is we're going to do what I normally do, and that's to talk about the plot of this movie. Then we'll get into the cast and crew of this movie. Then we'll get into what I did and didn't like about the film. Then we will talk about my final Nerdly Presents Off the Reel review rating. That is just my rating, though. You can go over to the website, nerdly.co.uk, and check out if anybody over there, any of our writers over there, have watched this movie, what they thought of the movie. Check out their review. But remember, the most important opinion is mine. No, it's not. It's not mine. The most important opinion is yours. You need to watch this movie, see what you think about it, and then come back and let me know. Let's talk about London Calling and see if we can get you to go and watch this movie. After fleeing the UK from a job gone wrong, a down-on-his-luck hitman is forced to babysit the son of his new crime boss and show him how to become a man. Pretty standard. We've kind of seen this sort of thing before. Christoph Waltz done it like a little while ago in a movie like about a year ago, which also had Lucy Liu in it. That was an alright movie. He was like an aging hitman and then had to take on this younger hitman underneath his wing. This time we're doing something a little bit different, where Josh Duhamel, playing an aging hitman, needs to take on his new boss's son and teach him how to be a man. And at the start of the movie, he's in London. He's this really prolific hitman, but he goes out on a hit and accidentally kills the wrong man, because essentially he's getting a little bit old. His eyesight's not as good as it used to be. It's kind of on the way out, and he may need glasses, but we'll deal with that as the movie goes on. But what we find out is that he's inadvertently killed the nephew or the cousin of his big boss man's wife. But to the big boss man, family is family. So he goes to see Arnold Vosloo, and Arnold Vosloo's like, right, I can help you out. Get yourself over to LA. I'll give you like a new thing. I'll team you up with this guy called Benson, and he will give you some jobs, and you can go and live your life out there and just stay away from London. So then we cut a year ahead of time, and Josh Duhamel now has a full head of hair, because what I didn't mention about the earlier section of the movie is dude's rocking bald, and actually looks pretty dope as a bald guy. But yeah, he looked really cool bald, but when we cut a year forward, he's now got a full head of hair, and he's working for a guy called Benson. Benson has a young son called Julian, and Julian is not the kind of son that Benson wants. Benson wants a hardcore son who can go out and take over the family business and be a crime boss just like him. Julian likes to go out and do LARPing, which, if you don't know what LARPing is, watch the movie Role Models. That'll give you a bit of a clue. LARPing is basically live action role play in the park, where they dress up as witches, wizards, all that kind of thing, and they fight in the park. So Benson needs Tommy to take Julian out on the road and do some hits, because Tommy has decided that he needs to go back home, because it turns out that his ex-wife is marrying the new boyfriend, and he ain't too happy about that. So that's what Tommy does. He takes Julian out with him, and he's got 3 kills that he needs to make, and he's like, right, you're going to get one of these kills, you're going to become a man, and then I can get the money I need, the plane ticket I need to go back to London and see my son and stop my ex-wife from making a huge mistake and marrying this gym teacher. In the meantime, Tommy's ex-boss, who turns out to be Freddie Darby, played by Aidan Gillen, he finds out that he's in LA, so he's like, right, I'm going to go to LA and I'm going to find Tommy, I'm going to kill him. And then obviously there's going to be a little bit more cockamamie stuff because it is a little bit of a Hitman thriller sort of movie, so we need a little bit more to go on. But that is essentially the plot of the movie, so I don't want to get any deeper into it, otherwise I'm just giving you spoilers. Let's talk about the cast and the crew of this movie and see where we go from there. Starting with Josh Duhamel as Tommy Ward. I really enjoyed Josh Duhamel in this role. He's an actor that I've always quite enjoyed, and this was very much him stepping back up into the limelight and being the leading man. But this is a role that just felt made for him, it just felt written for him, and it just felt like he's in his own skin when he makes these kind of movies. He's very cool, he's very charismatic, he's dropping one-liners left, right and centre, he's doing the comedy when he needs to do, but he's also pretty hard as nails when he needs to be. He's really good with the gun, knows what he's doing action-wise, and the relationship he is able to form with our young star Julian, the relationship he's able to form with him is it's just got chemistry written all over it. It's very organic and it doesn't feel forced. Now, the young star Julian, who is played by Jeremy Ray Taylor, that you might remember from the It movie. He played one of the young kids in the first It movie. Fantastic character, fantastic little actor, and in this, he nails it. He does have that sort of Christopher Mintz-Plasse geekiness, and I only say that because I can draw comparisons from that movie, role models, to this movie. You can draw those comparisons, but he does play it really well, and you do feel like actually this kid probably is getting beaten up, and when he does have a good thing, he probably doesn't realize he's got a good thing. But then when he starts turning on the badass nature of himself, like he's not necessarily going out there and being absolutely hardcore, but when he turns on the edgier side of the character of Julian, you totally buy it. He plays it really well. Like there's a bit where he's trying to teach him how to shoot, and Josh Duhamel's like missing everything because his eyesight is shot to shit. He can't really see anything far away, and it's just all gone downhill for him. And then Julian picks up the gun, and Josh Duhamel's like, "Are you shitting me? Are you actually taking the mick out of me?" Because the kid is shooting every single bottle. And basically turns around and says, "Well, I do play a lot of Fortnite." And that's just like little jokes like that within the movie I really enjoyed, because it really makes you just feel for this kid, feel for what he has going outside of his life and what he has going on with his father. His dad, Benson, is played by Rick Hoffman. If you saw Suits, he played the character Louis Litt, one of my favourite characters from Suits, and I genuinely think if they make another spin-off or if they want to go any further with that franchise, Louis Litt is the guy you do it with. I think Rick Hoffman is a fantastic actor from the days of when we saw him in Hostel playing like a little cameo role. Excellent in that. He's just one of these guys that has one of those faces that A, you could punch all the live long day, but B, you know exactly who he is straight away. You know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get a really serious performance with some really comic attributes. He could tell you he's going to kill you, stick your head in a blender and drink it through a straw, and you'd probably laugh your ass off because he's just that kind of actor. Aidan Gillen I love, but the dude is Irish, and Irish is sinister enough, and in this, he's doing a bit of a London Cockney wide boy accent, which I wasn't loving. I've heard him do it before and he's done it better, but for this movie I don't know if he was maybe just phoning it in, because he's not in a lot of scenes and I imagine he just came in for a couple of days. Genuinely, I had no problems with the character at all. But speaking of two Irish characters with Irish accents, the two brothers of Alistair McCrory and Seamus McCrory, played by Neil Sandilands and Brandon Orrit, both absolutely fantastic. Neil Sandilands kind of steals the movie, I won't lie. Like, his scenes are absolutely brilliant. He plays this kind of born-again hitman that's found God and is kind of trying to figure out how he's going to reconcile that with his past life, and it is causing all sorts of problems. But honestly, he just nails it. He nails every single scene he's in. And if you don't laugh at some of the stuff he's saying in this movie, then there's something severely wrong with you. And Arnold Vosloo, I mentioned him at the start, he is only literally in one scene and he is fine. It's great to see him in movies. It's great to see him putting his name to these kind of lower budget movies, because then you can put his name on the poster and people remember who Arnold Vosloo is. There's a certain level of nostalgia with an actor like that. So what I did and didn't like, I love the execution of this movie, pun intended, because it is a Hitman movie, but I genuinely did like the way this movie went. It just felt nice and slick. The story made complete and utter sense. I love the idea of the Hitman kind of having really shitty eyesight, and the eyesight is kind of going from him, and it does lead up to these moments where the young kid is able to like drop these jokes and like, dude, I think you need glasses, like you have to get glasses, but Josh Duhamel, being the cool customer that he is, he ain't going to wear glasses. He don't want to do that shit. But Julian's kind of like, I think you need to wear glasses. And that's where the chemistry really comes into play, because you start to feel like they're looking after each other, put in this situation that neither of them really wants to be in. And the way it's written, the way they play together, the way the dialogue is, the way the relationship is, it all completely and absolutely works on every single level. There's these really cool scenes where he's teaching Julian how to like defend himself, but he's not going to teach him how to like shoot a gun and how to kill someone. So he's kind of like, if somebody gets in close, give them like the finger pokes, just poke them in the eyes. And it's a running theme throughout the movie where we get to see Julian try to use this on people, try to use this on the bad guys. Is it going to work? I don't know. Will it ever work? I don't know. But we're going to do this joke repeatedly until we get the desired effect. I really liked it. I loved it, and it makes a whole bunch of sense. And then it leads into like Josh Duhamel when he gets to go home and see his own kid. You know that he's a father at heart. Yes, he's a hitman. He's a bit cold-hearted, but at heart, he's a father, and he's got a kid that he loves. And who can't relate to that? And as I said up top, Allan Ungar as a director, I saw his Nathan Fillion movie, the Uncharted fan film. I saw Bandit a couple of years ago, or a year ago, where it had Josh Duhamel and Mel Gibson in it, and that was a pretty cool movie. One of the things I will say about that movie is, like, for a crime caper, it was very well written, again, much like this one. So it turns out I'm a bit of a fan of Allan Ungar, and I can't wait to see what he gives us next, what he does next. And if he wants to keep working with Josh Duhamel, I am all for that as well, because this is definitely a partnership that absolutely works. They've done 2 movies that I know of together that I've enjoyed both those movies. So absolutely, let's see some more from these guys, and let's see what we can do going forward. I'm going to not spoil anything, so I'm not going to tell you when this happens in the movie, but we do get a really cool LARPing scene, a live action role play scene. We get a couple, but we get a really, really good one that is like just all marbles. And honestly, if you haven't seen people play LARPing in the park, if you haven't seen this in other movies, this is the movie to watch to see what it is like, because they nailed it. And as someone who looks at that kind of thing and thinks, oh my god, like, they're loving what they're doing, but it's a little bit weird and it's a little bit geeky, although I totally respect it and love it, I was in absolute tears watching this scene. I had tears rolling down my face. I was laughing so hard at this scene because they take it completely serious, don't take it too serious for a couple of minutes, and then take it serious again. And yeah, it literally, I actually had tears rolling down my face while watching it. Honestly though, I'm going to give this my rating now, because I think Allan Ungar, Josh Duhamel, Jeremy Ray Taylor, Rick Hoffman, I think Aidan Gillen, everybody has done a really, really good job with this movie. This movie is really cool. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I would absolutely watch it again. I straight away recommended it to a couple of people that I knew would enjoy this movie. I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 5. I found it thoroughly enjoyable in a time when I needed a thoroughly enjoyable movie. I was able to shut my brain off in moments and just enjoy what was going on. It was just outlandish enough, but not too outlandish to pull me out of the movie, that I was still so able to enjoy it and just really get on with the film and embrace these characters, fall in love with these characters, and want more from this world, want more from these people. But for me, this movie is a 5 out of 5. Have you seen it? If you have seen it, hit me down in the comments down below. Let me know if I'm absolutely wrong about this movie, if I'm right about this movie, if I'm half right, half wrong. Let me know what you thought of the movie. We can talk about it in the comments. That's where the conversation will continue. Go over to nerdly.co.uk. Hopefully somebody over there may have reviewed this movie as well, so you can check out what they had to say. Most of all, make up your own opinion, watch the movie for yourself, and let us all know what you thought of this flick. I think London Calling is a low-key smash. I think when people see it, they will absolutely love it. There's 100% there's an audience for this film, and I hope they find it. It's a 5 out of 5 from me. My name's Kevin Allen. This is an off-the-reel review of London Calling, and remember, if I don't see you in the cinema, I'll see you in the next review.